Anywho, do this, shall we? I think there's one more dungeon for this chapter, I believe. You guys are the bracers I was told about, right? The Army airship you'll be boarding will be docking soon. You're to go meet at Dock 1 to the right. Okay. So we're going to purposely go left. You know, for dialogue purposes. Thanks to the Army's orders, the flights that are usually scheduled to come through are grounded. They're grounded from their Super Nintendo. They were bad. Of course flights are cancelled, just as I set off on my trip. Last time I planned the trip was during that Sky Bandit scare. Uh-oh. And we all know how that went. Do-do-do-do. Normal flights have been cancelled, but we've got an Army ship coming in apparently. We're trying to get ready, but those Army birds are so different than commercial liners. That Army ship should be here soon. Right now we're getting ready to get it docked up and serviced. Apparently the Army has some big plan to save us all, so they've stopped the usual flights. I just hope their plan is worth it. Hopefully. Hopefully it doesn't fail miserably. Do 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 do. We're having a pot roast tonight, but it won't be ready until 5, which is a little over an hour away. Looks like the military ship hasn't shown up yet. We should have enough time to visit the merchants if we need anything. What do you want to do, Estelle? Wait for the Army ship. Let's just go ahead and wait for the ship to arrive. Let's do it, man. Let's do it hard. So the airship that's going to pick us up is going to be one of those big reinforced Army ones, right? Yes, one of our guard airships. They make up most of our military ships, so I'd imagine that's what we'll be in them. The typical Royal Army Guard airship is usually well-rounded. Strong firepower, a large load capacity, and good mobility. Well, that's what I know from 10 years ago. They've been upgraded some since their initial deployment, correct? Yes. In addition to giving them better armor and engines and such, we have specialized the ships by varying their equipment. Patrol craft, scout craft, attack craft, and S-craft. The principle, at least, as I understand it, is to ensure the squadrons are flexible by giving them each one mission-specific equipment. Sounds like a plan. Just what I'd expect from a country that invented airship warfare. We have airship squadrons in Calvert, but they're nothing more than showboats, really. They're more for show than anything else. The Empire's a little different. We use airship squadrons, but the Empire's strength has always lain in its cavalry divisions, our tanks in this age. Ding dong! Ding dong, the witch is dead. Attention, please. A Royal Army vessel will be landing at Port 1 momentarily. All non-affiliated personnel, please refrain from entering Port 1. I suppose we are affiliated, right? Hey, here we go. Aw, here goes. Huh? I don't think I've heard this engine sound before. Oh my, that's... Ah. Oh boy. Wait a second. So, we're going to be riding the Arseille. Fun fact, in the Japanese version, it's actually the RSL. Spelled differently. But, yeah. Julia didn't mention this at all when I spoke with her last night. Yo, Estelle. Hi, everybody. Long time no see. Look who it is. We just couldn't go a chapter without seeing these two goofballs. What? Is that... We seem to have a habit of meeting in the strangest damn places. Estelle! Everyone! It's so great to see you again. Why are Niall and Dorothy on the Arseille? Allow me to explain. It's Julia! Hanging out. Playing some NES. Julia? Julia, you awful tease. Why didn't you tell me last night that you'd be coming in the Arseille? I get to have my fun with surprises sometimes, my princess. My apologies if I startled you. Oh, Julia. I take it that if you're using the Arseille, it's part of Grandmother's plan. Just so. What's Her Majesty got to do with this? If the famous cutting-edge Arseille gets involved, those living in fear of the monster can may have their concerns eased. I believe that is her thinking. Seems legit. Oh, good idea. Queen Alicia continues to impress. The reporters are, I assume, along for the very same reason. Yeah, pretty much. The whole damn country's losing it over this monster can thing. Looks like they're hoping us humble reporters can produce a little something to calm the masses. Mr. Burns, remember...
Excellent.
I know. I won't give away any state secrets. I am gonna be poking my head around to some extent, though. I ain't writing straight propaganda here. You know, because propaganda sucks. As you wish. On time for once, I see. It's General Morgan, by God! General Morgan? General, allow me to express our thanks for allowing us on board. Well, Her Majesty's opinion helped. Let me be clear on this up front, so there's no misunderstanding. You bracers are nothing more than observers on this mission. All you'll be allowed to do is watch as we execute the plan. I'm fine with that. If the army could settle things, I sure won't complain like John. I look forward to seeing what you can do, General. Very well. Your Highness, please, this way. We shall accompany you to the bridge. But we cannot allow the princess to board as a mere passenger on her own airship. It would affect the crew's morale, Your Highness. Very well. Nah. Well, he's as icy as always. I wish you'd just accept that us dumb civvy bracers are, you know, something approaching competent. Well, that's really the best you can hope for with him. The General is this hard-headed, old-school sort of man. I doubt he'll ever change his opinions quickly. Allow me to lead you aboard the ship. And on that note, allow me to finally welcome you properly, as allies and friends of long standing. Welcome aboard the Arseille, flagship of the Royal Guard and La Burle. And we're off. We're off like a prom dress. Don't really know what we're doing, but I'm sure it's big. Damn, too late. Agate and Tina got left behind! We all got left behind. We let it all slip away. They're gone. We should have headed out a bit earlier. Ah well, we'll leave the monster can watching to the rest of the gang. Yeah, but, aww, I wanted to ride the Arseille. Come on, short stuff. There's more to life than gawking at machines. Or is there? Aw, but there's so much to see. An engine room with 8 of the new model engines. A next-generation bridge with all the best information processing equipment. It'd be a dream! For the... Your eyes are lit up like candles. But still, Agate, what do we do now? Good question. Well, first off, I'm gonna need a new greatsword if I want to keep being the heavy blade. He did get his kind of cut in half. Oh, right. Yeah, I guess you can't really repair a sword that gets broken that badly. Yeah, gonna have to buy a new one. Let's go order one at the weapons store in the South Block. Agate! Uh-oh. Yo, Ted. You're the receptionist here, aren't you? Ah, looks like you didn't make it in time. I can try to raise the Arseille on the radio if you want. Nah, that's okay. So you came out here just to see if I'd caught the flight. That too, but we actually just got a rush delivery on the flight last night with your name on it. I just found it. A rush delivery for me? Yeah, a small package. Return address says Russell. What? From Grandpa? Grandpa style, even. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Talk about trails in the sky. I'm telling ya. Well then, allow me to explain Operation Monster Can Capture. This operation will be conducted primarily by the airship force. Our ground divisions will focus solely on keeping order in all regions during the operation. Operation Overdrive, even. Wait, all the regions? So we're going beyond bows for this? Possibly not by our choice. Last night's event showed that the Monster Can's capacity for flight is significant. It is very possible that it'll move to another region at some point. Yeah, good point. The plan shall involve 12 airships in total, including the Arseille. That's a lot of airships! Which is to say, it involves 2/5 of our entire fleet. The rest will be held in reserve. 2/5 of the entire fleet? That's enough power to give our friend quite a reception, hmm? Julia. Sir. What? It's a map! Whoa. This is a map of the mission plan? Yes, precisely. The Arseille is currently cruising in Beauce airspace. We shall be using the Arseille as the flagship and command vessel for this operation. Obviously. The actual Monster Can patrol shall be carried out by 8 patrol ships equipped with wide-area radar. If the Monster Can so much as raises its head above the tree line, they will be able to find it. Then, once the monster can is found, ships will give chase at high speed and use their rapid-fire artillery to check the monster can and guide it over to Lake Valeria. Body check style. At the same time, several patrol vessels armed with tranquilizer rounds will be scrambled from Leiston Fortress. Once the monster can is pinned, they will intercept it. They will fire every tranquilizer round they have and sink the creature. That is the plan in full. Wow. Well, this is certainly a bit larger scale than most guild operations, to say the very least. If the tranquilizers don't work, I'm guessing you'll switch to live ammunition. Yes. In that case, we'll have to destroy the monster can with concentrated fire from all ships. Her Majesty has asked us to prioritize capture over destruction, but we are ready for every contingency. Huh? Why would Queen Alicia want the monster can alive? Monster cans are creatures of myth, the oldest legend. She said she could not bear to have it slain. I can understand that. Especially since the monster can is under the Society's control. Yeah, good point. Well, wait, that's right. That Lawrence, or Lionheart, or whoever he is guy, he had a gospel. That'd mean, yes, the orbital shutdown phenomena. The OSP. According to Professor Russell, the maximum range of the effect is roughly 5 ARG. All ships have orders to get no closer than 10 ARG to the monster can. As long as we do that, there should not be a problem. That should work, hopefully. Most impressive, General. You do seem prepared for everything. We learned quite a bit from the 100 Days' War. And should this plan somehow fail entirely, we will be left wanting for options. Should that come to pass, we will be relying on you. It's nice of you to say that, but, why do I get the impression you think this plan is foolproof and invincible? Of course. If this plan has a problem, it's that we have to wait for the monster can to show its face. Well, that's a question. What do we do if the monster can doesn't show up? Given how Ouroboros has behaved up to this point, I find it unlikely we'll keep it hidden. They'll want to use that monster can to do something. They probably will, won't they? Well then, Bracers. Once we've found the monster can, we will announce it over the comm. Until then, please make yourselves at home. I'll just take my pants off and, you know how we do. Miss Bright, is something wrong, General Morgan? I was taking a moment to look over the battle plan again. A plan that can seem perfect when first drafted can show faults over time. Indeed. Have you, found any problems, then? None that stand out to me. Short of the truly unpredictable happening, this plan should succeed. I'm afraid there'll be no need for you this time. Well, I won't mind if that turns out to be true, but if we need to, we'll help as best we can. You did, let us aboard after all, sir. You must suspect something could happen. It's possible, but remember, you will only act if our plan ends prematurely. I expect you to follow orders during the mission itself. Don't worry, we understand. We'll just watch for now and see what you guys can do. Quite a head on your shoulders, Miss Bright. We still have a little time before contact with the monster can. Use the time until then to ensure you're prepared. You bracers will only act if our plans go awry. I expect you to follow orders during the mission itself. Of course. Though we essentially just want to look around the ship as always. Estelle, touring the ship. Of course. That's kind of her thing. Pretty much, yeah. Wait a minute. Are you drinking before a mission? This is a drink of celebration, my sweet. I celebrate the imminent meeting of the genius bard and legendary monster can. Well, putting aside the genius bard bit, a legendary monster can. Do they still tell stories about monster cans in the Empire? Why, naturally. There are quite a number of legends and tall tales of sightings, especially in the southern regions near Bose. In fact, I believe the Imperial Institute of Science was to launch an investigation. But then the 100 Days War broke out. Did it ever? Wow, sounds like you guys take the legends kind of seriously. Legends of the Hidden Temple, even. So even in the Empire, monster cans are pretty much a mystery, huh? You could say that, I suppose. But to the people of the Empire, this particular situation would have a more straightforward solution. Straightforward, huh? Erebonia is a far more, pragmatic realm than Liberl. If something like this were to happen in the Empire, His Majesty would order the destruction of the monster can immediately. That's too bad. The Empire believes in boldly standing against all who would oppose it, by any means necessary. Even if the opposition is a monster can, it would be torn down without mercy. That seems a little bloodthirsty. Doesn't it, though? But that's how they roll. Securing national peace through force of arms is the Erebonian way. I confess, as a messenger of love and peace, I do find it a bit sad. So very sad. It would be an interesting turn of events for the monster can to flee into Erebonia. Were that to happen, though, it is all too clear that it would be taken as an excuse for rekindled war. You know, because that's how they operate and such. Our good General Morgan is all too aware of that, I suspect. I imagine so. Not much of a choice but to eat when we're on a long-haul voyage. The harder the job is, though, the nicer eating here is. And Casey's got one hell of a job, changing the menu up every day so we don't get tired of the same thing. Interesting. They got a billiards table here. This room kind of reminds me of inside the Merkaba. Not gonna lie. Yo, Bracers, welcome to the ship's galley. Welcome to bonus round. The name's Casey. I run this little corner of the Ladybird as ship's cook. Ladybird? I run the ship's commissary too, but that's not quite ready yet. Uh-oh. I bet that'll be in the DLC. If you want some supplies, I'll have to ask you to come back a bit later. Oh, you're not open? Oh well. Hang on though. Why is he drinking then? Oh, the guy in the white coat. I treated him. Oh yeah? I was checking the stock of liquor and he struck up a conversation. He seemed to know where he was talking about, so I gave him a drink. I see. Olivier calls himself a gourmand for a reason, I guess. I guess so. But let's go down first, actually. You're the bracers I heard about. I never thought General Morgan would allow bracers aboard, but he did, and it was awesome. The Royal Army's really changing, I guess. I guess this proved General Bright's reorganization is coming along. Check this place out. It's Louise! From ZCF. Okay, instruments checked out. Checked out, even. It isn't too often that you get to measure an engine's output in action. I am totally writing all this down for all the engines we design in the future. Sounds like a plan. Hugo! We've done test after test to wring as much performance as we can from the engine. No matter how many experiments we do, though, in live combat, things will be different. They sure will. As one of the development staff, I'm half eager and half terrified to see how the engine performs. If it can get us through this mission, I'd say all the hard work will have been worth it. That'll be the first flight out of the nest for this little bird. I'll be seeing how she does and collecting the final data.